My name is Jon Mayer. I'm head of exterior design here at Volvo Cars, where I'm responsible for the development of our cars globally. I'm here today to talk about the EX90. So from exterior design, we follow principles around first read, second read, and third read. What I mean by that is first read is what you see from a distance, so maybe 100 meters away. At first glance, you're met with a large 7-seat SUV, our flagship model. It's both lightweight and solid in its approach. For the main theme, we have two long lines down the side that span the distance of the car, creating a long, elegant approach. This was really inspired by yacht design for those two graceful lines. We have a balance and proportion to equal lightweight approach and balance out that solidity, with a relatively shorter front overhang with a longer that will apply to aerodynamics in a little while. But in creating the proportions for the EX90, we go after a lightweight feel. It is a large car, but adding the abundance of light into the cabin is a priority. So we've created large windows and a panoramic roof that lets a lot of light into the cabin. So for a large car, creating an efficient body side and approach to the proportions. Now that second read is when you get closer to the car. So this is where you see the graphical breakup, the face of the vehicle, and the attitude or the character of the surface language. We create a solid volume where we carve out forms to create solidity throughout the entire car. Talking about Scandinavian design principles of form following function, it was really the first car where we introduced a fully closed front end. One of the reasons why is there's really no ample air needed for cooling in a grille any longer. So we've set up a physiognomy in a face of the car with eyes up high in our signature lamp and Thors Hammer, a shield in the middle, and a mouth down below. Now, even through electric cars, this is where we still need ample cooling. We've introduced a premium grille shutter solution where this opens and closes when the car needs to breathe. This entire front setup creates more of a physiognomy of a mammal. So you get the identity of eyes, nose, and a mouth to create an impression that's confident but also welcoming to our customers. So for the third read, or around the details, is what we see when we get up close. And this is where the importance of integrating amazing technology and features around the car. One example, one of my favorite parts, is our Thors Hammer. Now we looked at our hammer today and seen it on the road for nearly a decade, and it's clearly identifiable as a Volvo signature. For the EX90, we want to progress it to the next step. So with integration of bigger technology that goes into the lamps, such as far as HD modules that can really provide the customer with the best blockout light possible, the hammer started to get bigger. So the brief to the team was, how do we make a hammer that's completely identifiable day, night, and even in the periphery on and off? So first thing we adjusted is actually having the opening or the line around the hammer to reflect the hammer shape itself. Then we came up with the concept of an opening hammer. So what this does is allows the middle to open up at nighttime and to create two modules with a link of light in between, so you get an equally powerful hammer at nighttime. Now the byproduct of this is it creates such a personality. So as you walk up to the car, you're greeted with the face already, but then the eyes open and wink and blink at you just to kind of confirm, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to go. So my next favorite detail is the integration of our Lidar. It's placed high on the roof to see out as far as possible. Now when we first got the information around the Lidar, from an exterior design perspective, this was very challenging to integrate into the car. Our first assumption was to put it down low in the front end, where we are used to housing many cameras and sensors throughout our vehicles. However, very quickly the engineering teams and the sensor teams explained to us why this is not a good idea. So they used an assimilation to the animal kingdom. You don't see an animal such as a giraffe or elephant walking around with its eyes on its knees. They're high up on the head to see out as far as possible, to see in a safe distance. And it's the same for the Lidar. If you were to place it in the bumper below, all you would see is the car in front of you. So we've integrated beautifully into the roofline, designed a cover to protect it and balance out the aerodynamic flow. But up in this position, the Lidar is able to see 250 meters beyond what human vision can see itself. So at nighttime, it sees better than our eyes do and provides a very safe cocoon in the EX90. So just as Thors Hammer is an important signature for our brand in the front, The verticality of our lamps has been throughout our history at Volvo. One of the reasons is to keep that tail lamp up as high as possible for safety, to let people know where the car is. This is also showing a section on the car of the body side. So we have segmented lamp up above and a C shape down below that embraces the shield connection, celebrates and extends the width of the car. Now in this black band that does encompass the whole entire shield, we've integrated technology. We have a camera and cleaning system that are part of the whole system on the car that allows the car to see out as far as possible and add assisted driving over time. Lastly, I'd like to talk about aerodynamics and efficiency for the EX90. This is a large 7-seat SUV with a coefficient of drag figure of 0.29. But what does that really mean? So the coefficient of drag is the measurement of a resistance of an object in a fluid motion. To equate that to a different term is basically think about water and the movement of water. If you were to take a brick and push it through the water, you're actually fighting that turbulence from the beginning. So there are many ways to approach aerodynamics. And first I'd like to talk about what the front end impact has and how we've adapted our design language for aerodynamics. So there are multiple ways, but instead of fighting with air, which is quite stubborn, and adding wings and etc., we've really rounded off the profile and plan view of the EX90, making sure that we have beautiful and strong, efficient impact from the beginning. So when the air hits from the beginning, it attaches to the car immediately and then flows down the body side and remains attached to the vehicle. There are even other detail elements along the body side that really help this aerodynamic flow. So we have what we call flush glazing on the pillars here. Normally, traditionally, you'd have some bumps in the pillars, and we flush those all off. This is a small factor, but all of these little things add up to a better coefficient of drag. In addition to flush glazing, we've also introduced flush door handles on the EX90. All of these little elements really stack up to enhance the overall aerodynamic performance. And lastly, talking about aerodynamics, as that air remains attached to the body, we want it to remain attached as long as possible. So we've increased the overhang here so the air actually remains attached. This helps to add more versatility in interior volume of space, but also a separation edge here that allows the air to cleanly separate from the car. And lastly, aerodynamics, of course, all enhanced and developed around the special aerodynamic wheels that we have on the EX90. All wheels follow an insert principle where we cover off as much of the wheel as possible, allowing ample brake cooling, but to make the designs of our wheels as efficient as possible in the EX90.